Alright guys, my name is Lassus, and for my 6-minute talk today, I decided to choose wind turbines to do a presentation on. So, just a little outline, just give a little history about the wind turbine, how it evolved over the years. Basically, what is a wind turbine, and what it produces, like what is wind power, what it produces. Some equations that you can use to figure out power of a wind turbine, and then just an example of some calculations. So the advantage and disadvantage of using a wind turbine over other sources of energy. And the first windmill produced for electricity was produced by Professor James Blyth of Anderson's College in Glasgow, Scotland in July of 1887. Windmills were originally used for pumping water or things like that back in the older days, and then people realized that they could use these for more than just that, so they moved over to creating electricity. In the winter of 1887, U.S. Professor Charles Brush built a 12 kilowatt wind turbine to charge 480 batteries stored in the cellar of his mansion for his own personal use to power his house and some things around there. In the 1890s in Denmark, scientists Cole McClure began wind turbine testing to bring electricity to the rural population of Denmark. He wanted to test these turbines to see if they could be powerful enough to power more than just one single house, but multiple houses in a full area. And also, he was the first to discover that fewer rotor blades on a wind turbine were more efficient. The reason they're more efficient is because when the wind comes into the turbine, it can spin a lot faster and get a lot more higher RPMs. The lesser number of blades you have, the higher efficiency. But when you get into more, the blades are more called stiffness in the blades, and then cost is also a factor that you have to throw in. So you see, in the 1920s, the first vertical wind turbine was created by called the Darius turbine. They realized that a vertical wind turbine created more power than a horizontal turbine. You're able to get up to higher altitudes and get more wind and create more power, and from there have more energy to use. The first offshore wind farm in Vindeby, Denmark, was created in 1991. Consisted of 11 450 kilowatt turbines, and also in 1991, the first onshore wind farm was opened that consisted of 10 turbines and had enough power to produce power for 2,700 homes. And today, there may be a little more, but I found this number. There are currently 186 operating in the UK and 76 across the United States and Canada. There's supposed to be a moving picture of just a wind turbine just spinning. So basically, what is a wind turbine? A wind turbine is a device that calculates kinetic energy from the wind and converts it to either mechanical or electrical energy that's used for other sources. We use to power homes and stuff like that. This is a process called wind power. So here is a basic layout of what a wind turbine looks like. So your wind comes in through the blades, and then it spins this low-speed shaft, which is attached to a gearbox. The low-speed shaft will spin about 18 RPMs or something like that, not too fast. But to power the generator, you need a much higher RPM. So this large gear will spin, the small gear will spin this a high-speed shaft, approximately 1,800 RPM, power the generator to go down into the receiver to spread power out to either houses or power stations and stuff like that. And here is just a manometer to show the wind speed. Here's just some examples of what wind farms look like. Here's one out of California. And this is the Lassus wind farm. This is the largest wind farm in the world in Glasgow, Scotland. This is another example of a wind farm. Okay. So as I said, wind power is a conversion of kinetic energy from the wind to useful forms such as mechanical, electrical power. Why wind? Wind's a renewable resource. It's free. It creates no pollution, so it makes the wind turbine very efficient for the greenhouse effect and stuff like that. As I said earlier, the windmills were used to pump water or grind grains for farmers. Today they use to power homes and businesses. Some of the biggest wind turbines in the world have enough power by themselves to power 450 homes. So to calculate power for a wind turbine, so you have your kinetic energy, which is also your work. Your work is your force through distance displaced. So deriving kinetic energy of 1/2 times mass flow rate times your velocity of the wind squared. To get power, you take the time derivative of energy, and from there you're able to calculate that the power comes to 1/2 times the density in the area covered by the blades times the velocity. Now that's the maximum power you can get. The available power you're going to be able to get is only 59% of what you calculate, just due to all the aerodynamic effects and drag and stuff like that that comes with the design of the wind turbine. So here's just a simple example. So say you have blade length 52 meters, wind speed 12 meters per second, and then you were able to calculate the area. Basically, it's just the surface area of the circle, and from there you're able to calculate the power of the turbine will be 3.6 megawatts. So pros and cons. Wind's free, it's abundant, it's a very renewable resource, pollution free. And wind turbines are very space efficient. They don't take up much surface area on the ground, so you can put a lot of them in one area. Some cons: you have unsteady winds. When you have extreme weather conditions, if you look at the picture, there's the rotary brake. They use that to stop the blades from spinning if you have high winds or serious weather conditions, so you don't ruin the wind turbine. So and then they are pretty noisy. I didn't figure out how many decibels they output, but look that up. And if you want to power a lot of homes, you would need a lot of wind turbines. Any questions?
Do they be used in Louisiana, or are they not really ideal for this?
No, not really. They're used more like out in the Midwest. They didn't have any. When I was out, I didn't see any in Louisiana, just because of the environment here.
What's the cost comparison for fuel?
Well, obviously fuel is a lot more expensive because you have to keep replenishing it. I'm not sure how much cheaper the wind turbine would be, because they said usually once it's installed and once it's inputted, the main cost is just the materials to build it, and then once it's installed, you don't really have to do much maintenance to it unless something severe happens. So I would assume it's a lot cheaper than using a fuel source. So
Any other questions?
Do the blades have any like pitch to them?
Yeah, and I was trying to find how much pitch they actually have. I was assuming it's not more than like 10 degrees or something like that. Not too much, but enough to spin them and create enough power. As
You go back to your slides, let me go back. Right. Here, you have, this is the power, right? And which area is your A?
Which what?
A denotes what? It's the area of what?
It's the area that this is like the area that the blades rotate. Like so, the tip of a blade, like one circle, one rotation.
Okay, so the more area you have, the more power you have, right?
Yeah.
But is there a design constraint that you cannot go beyond?
I mean, I'm sure there's a critical area, a critical length of blade that you can have. They said some blades can be up to 200 feet long, so I'm not sure how much that is in metric, but they said some will be up to 20, some turbines can be up to 20 stories high and have 3 blades of 200 feet long.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Suppose you have been asked to design a turbine blade for this application, right? And I mean, obviously it looks like the more length you have, the more area you have, so you can increase your power, right? But if you have to look into the design constraints, then what are the things that you will look like when it's rotating, when the blade is rotating?
Yeah, you look into the materials you would use,
Yeah.
see
But
if,
let me ask you, let me put it this way. What forces are there on the blade when it's rotating at a high speed
got it,
that might break the blade?
break it.
Yeah. There has to be there are some forces which would be on the blade, right? Like once it's rotating.
Like your centrifugal forces.
Right. So if you have to fix that, then what would you look at? Or in other words, what's the equation of centrifugal force? Right. So 1/2 mv squared, right? So you have the mass and you have the velocity. You can fix the velocity, right? Because it's just the radius times your angular velocity, so that remains constant.
Yeah.
So you can deal with the mass. So the more mass you have, the more centrifugal force you have. So a lighter material would probably be better, right? So in this case, probably a lighter material would be better, but you have to look into what's the lightest that you can get down to. That should work, right?
I think the lightest you can get down to without having the material break down while it's spinning.
Yes. So those are the things that you have to look into when you're designing. All right. Any other questions?